Today, we're going to be talking about the parasocial relationships between fans and artists and the resulting fan culture that can contribute to dangerous situations such as the Astroworld tragedy that happened this week. If you are new here, my name is Victoria. I'm a singer-songwriter who wants to open up conversations about music, and usually I keep it pretty light on this channel, but after everything that happened this week, this is something that I really wanted to just talk about with y'all. And I feel like it's a conversation that needs to be had. Let me first be clear and say that I feel that Travis is very much responsible for what happened at Astroworld. As the headlining and organizing artist of that entire event, he made many choices in its production, and even during his performance, he had a choice to stop, and instead he continued and directly contributed to the deaths of over 9 people at this point. With that being said, there is a larger conversation that needs to be had about how we as consumers of music participate in music culture. There was a lack of empathy in that crowd that is a direct result of social media, the idolization of celebrities, and a severe misunderstanding of the real relationship between fans and artists. Fan culture needs a hard reset. First, let's talk about what the hell a parasocial relationship is. Parasocial relationships are one-sided relationships that can psychologically feel like a real face-to-face relationship you would develop in your day-to-day life. They are mediated and curated by one side. The one side in this case is celebrity status musicians. If you ever got a chance to see your favorite artist like in the street, of once-in-a-lifetime run-in, your first initial thought is probably going to be something along the lines of, holy shit, I know them. I know who that is. The reality, though, is you don't actually know them. You recognize them, and you have in one way or another watched their lives through the lens that them and their entire team of management has curated for you to see through their social medias and their general presentation as an artist. These aren't your actual person-to-person relationships. You're not actually involved in their life whatsoever. You're just consuming it. I know it might sound like I'm over-explaining, and I feel like I'm over-explaining, but genuinely, as I sit on Twitter and I watch hordes of fan bases harass people on different social media platforms, and I watch artists knowingly incite their unhinged fan bases to weaponize them against other people, I feel like it needs to be over-explained, the actual relationship there. The lack of awareness from the fan side of the parasocial relationship between artist and fans is a really slippery slope, and that misunderstanding is the catalyst for tragedies like Astroworld. You should never be so enthralled and encapsulated by an artist that you would trample over the people in front of you just to get that much closer to them. Life is not actually a fanfic, and you are not actually gonna be your name. Like insert name here, it's not you, it's not any of us, that's not real. Everybody has their fandoms that they're in or they're not in, or they think this, that, and the other of. But here's the actual thing. Collectively, we have to understand as consumers of music that our behaviors as individuals within a fandom directly contributes to the culture of that artist and the resulting culture at their events and within their spaces on the internet. If you don't have that parasocial boundary between yourself and the artist that you're listening to, that allows the opportunity for those artists to use that to their advantage. The results of this culture vary in severity from all the way to things like Astroworld, where people were literally killed, to artists starting brands that are really shitty brands, but they know that people will buy them no matter what because they are who they are. Travis Scott has incited this behavior from his fan base for years. The Barbs have gone to the absolute ends of the earth to do anything that they can to salvage the whatever is left of Miss Minaj's reputation at this point. As if this person that they idolize actually knows them and is like a family member or something. Back in the day, on early Stan Twitter, I was there and actively participated when I was younger because I was there, man. I felt it. I was a One Directioner. We were one of the most toxic fan bases that has ever existed, and still to this day, the remnants of that toxicity remain. The first time that Taylor's Red album was released, the Swifties and the Directioners were at war. And now, looking back on that as an adult, and from a different perspective, fan culture has only continued to get more dangerous and less empathetic as time has gone on. It feels like we've traded the fan-to-fan, person-to-person culture in fandoms for clawing at any opportunity for a semblance of recognition from the artists themselves, when that's not reality and it's not what we should be striving for. Both fans and artists are in compromised positions when that boundary is not clear. More so the fans than the artists, because the fans have a lot less power than these artists do. They are millionaires. They are developed. They are there. They are celebrity status musicians. They have thousands and thousands of dollars just behind managing their image. And they still manage to fuck it up, but like, okay. But look how many artists have been killed when the reality of the relationship between fans and artists was not clear enough. And look how many fans have been killed. This isn't the first time that people have been killed at a music festival as a result of fan culture and the idolization of celebrities. Especially with music, because music is so emotional and there's a lot of deep, deep connection there. But you should never go to a concert and be fearing for your life like that. You shouldn't be afraid of your fellow audience members trampling over you. You shouldn't be afraid to voice a valid opinion or critique about an artist on the internet out of fear that their entire horde of fans is going to come after you. Celebrities are people, yes, but they are not your friends. They need to create the illusion of us being friends and buddies so that their career can continue. And no, I am not saying that there's no artist that genuinely cares about their fans. Of course artists love their fans. They would not be able to do pretty much anything if they did not have fans. You have hundreds of thousands of people listening to your music and telling you how much they love you and how much they've connected with this, that, and the other. And in some ways, you are sharing that experience with them, but you have to know that you're looking at it from two different sides of the coin. You are one body in that sea of hundreds of thousands of people. When artists say, I love my fans, they mean that, fans as in one group. Even when they say each and every one of you, like yes, in theory, they appreciate every single individual person that has ever listened to their music and contributed to their career in one way or another. But in application, they don't know you. They don't think about you as an individual on a day-to-day basis. They think about you as a group. They don't consume your existence like we consume the existence of celebrities in today's culture. They do not know your life like you know theirs, but they can give you the illusion of knowing that life through using their shared experiences from whatever life that they do have and writing relatable music that actually does sometimes feel like it was written just for you, but it wasn't. It was written for them. And then it was shared with you as a fan by choice, through more hoops and loops of management than you or I could ever even imagine. But all you see is that one artist on Twitter saying, oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to hear this album. I am so excited to share this with you. But it's not you as an individual. It's y'all as in all of us, including myself. I am very much included in this conversation. I'm still learning every day in music. That was the whole point of me starting this channel. I have to check myself like all the time as a fan because honestly, I'll catch myself knee deep in the Casey Musgraves subreddit fighting for my life. And then I take a step back and I'm like, girl, get a grip. You don't even know her. Like, I am also guilty of idolizing artists in one way or another. And then you can take another step back and be like, why am I arguing with other fans? You have to question and reflect on your own behavior in order to gain a better understanding of the parasocial relationships between yourself and the artists that you're listening to. Music is a community that is based in shared emotions and shared experiences. The most important relationship in music is actually the relationship between yourself and the music that you're listening to. Secondary to that, it should be the relationship between yourself and the other fans within your fandoms of choice. That's the real community. That's where those shared experiences are actually genuinely shared. Celebrity musicians do not relate to their music the same way that you do. The normalcy of a celebrity's day-to-day life is not the same normalcy as their entire fan bases. The fans, that's where the heart of music is. That's where the entire culture of music is built, and that's where it dies. It starts and ends in the fandoms. That's where the real-life friendships and relationships with music are developed. I don't have any fond memories of me looking at an artist's Instagram and boosting their algorithms. I have many, many, many fond memories of dancing and screaming and crying and laughing with my friends to some of our favorite artists' music and creating our own shared experiences with real life people. It's taken me a lot of time to gain, and I'm still continuing to gain awareness of this relationship as I've been raised in this internet culture of idolizing celebrities. Holding celebrities accountable for their actions and for their abuse of fan culture is important, and it's always going to be important, but that only addresses the cause and not the symptom, which is this nasty, unwelcoming, literally fight for your life space of music culture that makes celebrities into these godlike figures. Every artist that you've ever heard was a fan first. They were you and me. I will always have special places in my heart for certain artists and feel connected to them, but I'm not actually really connected to them. I'm connected to the music they chose to share with their hundreds of thousands and millions of fans, me being one of them. It's my experiences that define those songs, not the experiences of the artist that wrote it. The next time you go to a concert or you watch one online, take a minute to look at the picture. The artist is on a stage, they're separated and they're elevated from the hundreds of thousands of people that are watching them, delivering an experience to and with the crowd. Every single one of those people has their own individual relationship with this music, just like you do. You are all in that moment together, and it is such a magical opportunity for a shared experience. Those are life-changing music moments. I've had them. Looking back though, the artist was just the vessel for that. The fans, and knowing that every single person there was just as excited as I was to see this artist, that is where the magic is in going to a concert. Artists are just artists without fans. Once they have fans, they become celebrities. Celebrities cannot share your reality. They have been removed and filtered from it so that they can develop an audience. Having that knowledge, knowing the boundaries of the parasocial relationship between yourself as a fan and the artist that you're consuming, that knowledge is crucial to making a change in music culture as we look towards the future. If we want a safer, less exclusive, less mean music community, then we have to actually make that change as individuals. Idolization makes a lot of money for artists, whether it be a shitty brand of some sort or putting on a festival that is severely understaffed. They know that there are people that will buy tickets and will buy that product no matter what. Industry professionals are not going to be too inclined to make a change in the music culture that upholds a lot of their artists. So it has to come from the fandoms themselves. We have more power than we think we do as individuals who listen to music, but it's so easy to be convinced otherwise through the internet that we've been raised on. All of this is to say that after the events of this week, it is past time that everyone who listens to music reevaluates their relationship between the songs themselves and the artists that they're listening to or have attachments with in one way or another. Spend some time checking out a couple of forums about some of your faves just to get a reality check on the culture that they're driving within the larger scope of the music community. I am very curious to hear your thoughts on this. I went back and forth on how to exactly word this, so I'm sorry if any of it was confusing. I just think that there needs to be a little regroup on what we want as the music industry going forward, because fans drive that. That's up to us to decide. All I know is that I'm not a big fan of how the music industry treats people right now. For more information on the events that happened at Astroworld and some other opinions and takes, I will link that all in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching. I will be back in a couple of days with hopefully a video that's a little more lighthearted than this one. I've got some really fun stuff coming up with some interviews and some new releases of music that I want to talk about. If you liked hanging out with me this week, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications if you feel so inclined to do so. I would really love to hear y'all's thoughts, experiences, concerns, whatever you want to talk about in the comments below regarding anything I mentioned in this video today. I hope you have a wonderful, relaxing, reflective weekend filled with good vibes, good music, and good times. I will see y'all next time. Bye.